What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of HVAC R&D. This is episode 48. I think Rhydon got that right. It's Monday, April 11th. It's 2 a.m. I'm just kidding. It's not 2 a.m. It's, I don't know what time it is. Anyway, we're going to title this one HVAC R&D time because we haven't had an episode without a guest in a while, and we're pretty stoked about it. Not that we don't love you guys, but we just need a little R&D time. We got a lot of shit to catch up on, so let's get it going.
Yeah, come on.
Dude, that intro with Lucas, he's like, I mean, that was so sensual that he talks so fast that yeah, come on, was so sensual. And you did it again. Like, yeah, come on. Freaking Lucas. Dude needs some Adderall.
Dude, I give it to him, though. He is always on point.
He is pumped.
Yeah,
you don't. Point. There's nothing he doesn't know about either.
No,
he ain't getting nothing by him.
I guess you know a marketing guy. That's what you got to do.
That's true.
Well, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I know we kind of started getting straight into the conversation there, but welcome back. It's nice to get to spend a little time with just me and D. That sounded awful, didn't it? Might have to go back to that sensual. Yeah, come on.
That was horrible.
Yeah,
I'll have to edit that out.
Oh. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed a great weekend. Hopefully you will have had a good week by the time you hear us bullshitting on Friday. But
yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
God, I know. I was like, I don't even know where to start. I know I've got notes in front of me, but that's not even helping.
I feel like I hadn't even saw you in a month.
Dude, it feels that way. I was so excited. I thought I was going to get to see you this morning.
I know.
And it just broke my heart.
No. Or tomorrow.
Maybe.
But, yeah, might swing in there.
But we wanted to make sure that everyone remembers the HVAC R&D swag shop. You know, our favorite thing to do is, well, I guess my favorite thing to do is shameless self-promotion.
That's right.
I know the last couple of weeks we've not been hammering out the Instagram quite as hard, but to be honest, we've been a tidbit busy.
Yeah, with our real job.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot to do. Dennis has been getting some great info. I've been getting some info on some other stuff. I know he's been traveling here, there, and everywhere between training and getting trained, and so yeah, we'll catch up on all that. But
on the swag shop, I know there's only stickers and hats on there, but I mean, I don't know what else you want.
Yeah, what do you people want? They're like, nothing. You guys,
not hoodie time.
You guys,
I know we got to get a hoodie, but it's not hoodie time.
No.
Although the people that we got listening in other parts of the country, it might still be hoodie time.
Of course, granted, with shortages, we might have to order our hoodies now in order to have them for hoodie time.
That's a good point.
It's a bit dicey.
I want to get a t-shirt on there. A couple of really bad dad joke HVAC t-shirts. I don't know, something. I think we should get a wings and pizza t-shirt on there. That seemed to
be a hit, apparently.
Yeah, Also, our shout out to our buddy Zach, strong listener of the show. He thought that was pretty funny. The wing and pizza kids bop.
It's so terrible. Dude, speaking of weird, crazy kid shit, Kristen was showing me some of this. We were walking around the mall yesterday because we just needed to get out of the house and go wander and do something. And have you seen this Kid Cudi thing or whatever the crap it's called?
Sounds like I'm glad I haven't.
Dude.
What are we even talking about?
I mean,
here?
it might be almost too early to drop an F-bomb in the show, but what the F? This thing is creepy.
What is it?
I gotta look it up. I hate to even...
Something for kids to snuggle with?
No, but that's the thing. Like, it's... Like, the whole point of it is, like, trying to convince kids to kill their freaking parents, man. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's weird as crap. And it's, like, all over. Like, you go walking around the mall and, like, all these little, like, inner aisle vendors that are set up selling all these, like, different cartoon toys. They're all selling this stupid thing. It's like, or Huggy Wuggy. That's what it is. I think it's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's
that ain't good. It wouldn't really surprise me, but that ain't good.
It's freaky, dude.
So yeah, on the notes here, I see you got hurry before we get copyrighted while you're looking that up.
Oh, well, that was actually I think that was as holdover from intro songs. Which we never get a chance of that. I guess should we each get an intro song? Should we give ourselves intro songs this episode? I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, so well, hey, you know what, everybody? Without further ado, let's welcome our man, our tech rep, the one and only tech guy, Mr. Dennis Wilkins.
Woo!
Now drop your intro.
That's a good intro. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing.
I can intro myself.
Pencil pusher himself.
Pencil pusher. Jesus.
Pen pusher. Dropping prices like shorts. I don't know. I got nothing.
Dropping prices like panties. The one and only sales guy. Right.
Oh, God. That's, yeah. Also, another shirt. We got to put that shirt. We gotta...
Do the math, Kevin.
Do the math, Kevin. Yeah, we got a sales guy that has trouble with the margins. And every time he asks Ryan a question about margins, I don't think Kevin listens to the show, but it's just like, do the math, Kevin. And I was like, we got to put that on a shirt.
Or a sticker. One of the two.
A sticker. Yeah, I'd have just Macaulay Culkin's face on there. Old Kevin McAllister. Do the math, Kevin. All right, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the thing you saw at the mall. It's depressing.
It freaked me out. It's weird.
I'm out.
And, like, I hadn't even thought about it, and then Kristen, like, showed me,
I'm
like...
scared to even ask my kids about it.
No, don't. I hope they don't know what it is. I hope no one's kids know what this crap is.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. All right, so I feel like the what are we drinking needs its own walkout song.
Actually, it should. It should this week. It should this week.
I've heard that Rhydon's got something pretty special.
So in our epic adventure this weekend, I also went by a place and did a build your own 6-pack so that I could stock up on some great brews for the next few episodes.
6 episodes.
Yep. Well, 5 actually, because I bought 2 of one because it was so funny that I had to bring you one and then you weren't at the store today.
Oh,
so
that's right.
I'm still going to save one for you, but I feel like I need to make you go first.
All right.
What are you drinking, D?
All right, so this is in honor of us rewinding back the clock and doing an episode without a guest, just like we started. So I'm doing, it's called Rewind Lager. It's by Birdsong Brewing Company. don't know if you've heard of Birdsong.
Yep.
So it's got a cassette tape on it with a pencil like shoved through one of the cassette holes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll probably post a picture on Instagram, but you know, I'm a lager guy. So it's got the old like cream white can with the red, orange, and yellow like the 70s kitchens used to look like.
Nice.
It's hilarious. But yeah, it's a good beer. It's a good, as it says, cassette tapes and vinyl might be old school, but classic never goes out of style. Right on side.
I like it.
It's kind of close to a Pilsner.
Okay.
But yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. It's not a meal in a can either. So sorry, Rhydon.
Well, mine is definitely a meal in a can.
Oh, wait.
There it is.
There you go.
So, oh god, this is the greatest.
This buildup is killing me.
Dude, I can't help it. So,
It's not Ass Clown, is it?
no, it's not Ass Clown.
Okay.
It's better.
I thought I
It's
just
better.
crushed you.
It's actually better.
Okay.
So, this is from D9 Brewing over in Cornelius.
Okay.
It's called Wild Things. Well, it's not called, but I'm thinking it's a series. And it is a wild sour ale with a natural s'mores flavor.
Oh, jeez.
The name of the beer is Campfire Bandit. And I am
Campfire
sending you a
Bandit.
picture of it right now.
Oh, boy. Let's see what we got. There's a lot runs through my head when you say Campfire Bandit. Oh, my God. It's a trash panda.
Dude, I freaking died.
Look at him. He's devious
He's
looking.
it's got a trash panda on the front, and he is about to scarf the crap out of a s'more.
God, that is a wicked looking trash panda, though.
And I saw that thing looking back at me through the glass case of the picture on Six Pack thing, and all I could think about was Jason talking about that damn picture.
Yeah, next time we have Jason, the trash panda wrangler,
Yep.
when he comes on the show, he's gonna have to we gotta send him we'll just send him a 6-pack.
Well, and what's funny is if you search search the beer on Google, it pulls it up a bunch of places, and somebody's edited it to where now it says Trash Panda instead of Campfire.
I don't know how many techs have come across trash pandas, or AKA the raccoon, doing service work, but Jason's just looking at him through the return vent is. I mean, I had to step away from the mic that night. I had to gather myself.
Well, the best part is when he sent us the picture, dude. I lost it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
if you
it
go
looks
back,
like it was
it's on our
staged.
Instagram. I don't know. It's a ways back, but it's on there.
Yeah, it looks staged. It's like, no, dude, come on. That thing's not just looking at you through the return grill. Like, and he's looking at him like, hey, man, can you let me out? I've been in here for a hot minute. Like, and he was just calm as can be telling this story.
Dude, he's calm as can be telling every story.
Oh, man. He just rolls into a 100-pound pit chained up in the living room on an eye bolt. Oh, man. That was probably the best critter show we've had.
Let's see.
Oh.
Dude, you can smell the
Little
little
s'mores
bit of
action?
the old s'mores action in there. Let's see.
Probably not a good pull beer.
Nope.
So,
Not a good
say what it
pull
is
beer.
again. Is it a? So it's a. You said it was a sour, though?
It's a sour ale.
But with sweet
but
like that?
But it's got a
kinda has
natural
flavors.
s'mores flavor.
That's not really typical for a sour, is it?
It's dude, it's interesting.
Dude, it sounds like they were just throwing all kind of shit in the pot when they brewed that up. So you got a little s'more. You get taste some graham crackers.
So you get like the sour at first, but then you get kind of like the graham crackery s'moreness at the end.
S'moreness. Every time I hear somebody talk about s'mores, all I can think about is Sandlot. when Ham is building the s'more, trying to teach you. What a great movie.
I saw a good TikTok remake running from Beast. Wasn't it Hercules? Wasn't that the dog's name?
Hercules. Yeah.
If only they had some PS flyers.
I feel like they remade a scene with them all older or something. God, they all look the same.
I think I remember seeing the remake of that one thing.
Oh yeah, didn't well, I think a Major League Baseball team remade a scene, like actual MLB players. Oh, speaking of that, because you're a baseball guy.
Yep.
Me and Corey are kind of getting. We've been getting into some baseball here lately. It's that time of year. We're going to some high school games when my dad comes in. Have you seen PitchCom?
What is it?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Is that the thing where they can talk to each other with the comm link instead of using signals? Dude,
so
I think I read an article on that the other day, and I got mad before I even started reading it. I was like,
well,
really?
So apparently sign stealing has become a huge issue where people are stealing the catcher signs.
Well, fuck. No offense.
It's baseball.
It's baseball. That's what.
Yeah, but when you get to a point, right? So they've made this armband that kind of looks like a quarterback's play armband, but on the backside, like where his wrist is, he's got like it looks like 6 or 8 buttons, and the catcher designates the pitch on a button, and when he pushes it, the pitcher has a mic on his hat. So it's not in his ear, it's just on the side of his hat, and it's out loud. And it's like, curveball, low, inside. It's like, fastball, high, inside. And the catcher's just pressing these buttons, and it's supposed to speed up the game because apparently it's too slow. I don't know, man. Some of these things that are going into sports is... So they're talking about doing away with the shift. Because if you've watched any games here lately, honestly, you're looking like half the team's on one side. I hate to say it,
but I kind of would be okay with them doing away with the shift because it kind of is a bit over the top.
Well, I feel like I'm watching a church league softball game or something. Like,
which I mean,
yeah, that one's.
And I mean, I get it. It's strategy. Okay, all's fair in love and baseball, I guess. Well, apparently not. Can't steal signs anymore.
No, yeah, apparently that's a big deal. Like they've already put it in some minor league games, and I think the other night they implemented it in some MLB games. But yeah, they were trying it out on ESPN. They were, they're standing right there, and he's pushing the button. It's like slider, low and away, and you can change the voices to where they're, British, like Siri. I mean, come on, man. But somebody,
dude.
So when he's walking back to the mound, right? The catcher throws in the ball. As he's walking back to the mound, he can go ahead and give him the pitch. And they're like, "See, that'll speed the game up." I'm like,
"Not really."
Why?
It's because people can't appreciate that baseball was a slower paced game, and it was America's favorite pastime when we lived a slower paced life. I hate to say it, but we did.
Yeah, they want to play a game in like an hour and a half because they got something else they got to do.
Yeah.
So, of course, we've went through the Masters, right? We'll get into a little sports here. The one thing I love about the Masters is when you walk through that gate, no cell phone. You have to leave it in your car or check it in. You cannot take a cell phone in there. I love that.
That's awesome.
So you, I mean,
I saw I
some
had
people have a
some.
hard time with that.
Yeah, I saw I had some friends that I went to school with that went. That was their anniversary present was to go to the Masters. I think is what I read.
Nice. I'm gonna have to
You're like Tracy.
tighten my wife up on that. Yeah, what do we got going on here? We're going to like a nice restaurant on the weekend. Gotta go to the Masters. All right, so we got to start catching up on some stuff here.
Where should we start?
Well, our last episode with Lucas, always awesome to have Lucas on here, EGIA.
I know. I'm curious to hear some more about some of the stuff he said was coming.
Yeah, he said there was some technical partnerships coming.
Yep.
They're bringing in some, because there were kind of like, I guess you could say, soft skills.
Which, it's interesting. And I showed that to you. I showed it to you last week. Right after we had that episode, I noticed some EGIA stuff in our brand's training library of stuff. So that was kind of cool to see, and I hadn't seen that before. So I think that might be a newer thing too. And get a chance,
yeah, they talked about it in the meeting. They mentioned them. Yeah, bringing in some technical training, which I'm cool with. Everybody always needs technical training. Obviously, that's what I do. But the stuff that they're real big on is a lot of the stuff that I feel like, I don't know how many times we've said it on here, right? The techs that become owners. Those are the skills they really need, right? They
miss a lot of that.
Air conditioners, but the business side and selling, advertising, financing, that's a big part of it. That's where it starts separating you from the rest of the guys. But
I've had a lot of financing conversations this past week. Had another one today. It's coming, guys. If you're not financing, you really need to dig into it, because I'll tell you, the way things are going, it's going to be very expensive. And that's not me.
I mean, I feel like a lot more people in the last 2 or 3 years have really jumped on. But I get calls from guys that aren't financing. Call me for tech support, and I start talking to them about, they're like, calling me about an older system, and I'm always joking. I'm like, they're like, you got any parts for this thing? I'm like, no, it's free estimate time, man. If it's a good contractor, I'm just bullshitting with him, And he's like, man, they can't afford this system. And I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
We can't tell homeowners what they can and can't afford. They got to decide that for themselves. It's our job to give them the options and pick which way they want to go with it. And they either go with you or they don't, unfortunately.
This new equipment is not cheaper.
No.
These components, I mean, down the road it may be relative, but right now, right out of the chute here, 2023, it's going to be an increase. If you hadn't already seen the increases coming.
Yep.
You want to talk about that, Rhydon?
No. No, I don't. I'd rather not. I don't want to talk about increases at all. It's all I hear about all the time.
Well, so Corey's trying to lower his truck and put wheels on it and all this stuff, and it's funny when you're doing, like, when you're running an HVAC business and your sales guy says, "Hey, we got a price increase coming." Wow, we just got one of those. Come on, man. And then when you're buying personal items, you don't even think about it, right? Like, it doesn't cross your mind. You're like, dang, a few months ago that was $200 cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And Corey's lowering kit literally in 2 months went up $200. And I said, Corey, we gotta buy this thing, because he's saving his money for it. And when a kid, kid's making $10 an hour and he's working 2 days a week, something goes up $200 in 2 months.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Like percentage wise, that's a lot. I mean, yeah. So when he priced all this out and was saving his money, it was $800. We ended up with 1,100. It was like, holy crap. So, yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. It's in everything. It's happening. So you just pass it to the homeowner. I don't think there's any homeowners listening to this show, are they?
Well, I mean,
yeah, but
maybe they're trying to
pass it to the consumer.
Well, and it sounds awful. Once again, it sounds like you're saying like, oh, well, that's a consumer's problem. It's not meant to come off that way. Just is kind of unfortunately at this point it is what it is now.
Well, if you got a multiplier and a labor that you charge for your change out, and the equipment just went up, you plug it into your multiplier, right? Maybe you got something else going on and you got to go up on labor a little bit. Maybe everybody got a raise, whatever, right? You plug it into your multiplier and it spits out a number, and that's what they pay.
Yep.
There's no other way to do it. You can't say, I'm going to plug it in the multiplier and that price increase, I'm going to knock that off my labor.
No, and you can't. And you can't be like, oh man, I feel bad. You can't do that either because you got to eat too, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make money for the business and make payroll, and those guys got to live too. So,
yep.
All right, so this little segment here is for our buddy Zach. Old circle back with Zach. We've had him on the show. This dude texts me every episode and tells me what I need to do to fix the show.
It mostly includes Rhydon's audio.
It's all about Rhydon's mic. So me and Rhydon were recording with different products. And, I already had something doing recording with music and stuff with Corey, and Rhydon just bought a USB condenser mic.
Bought a podcast mic, because all my
bought a
mics are in the
podcast
mountains.
Right.
It's somewhere.
So, and I don't know, we just couldn't get the gain right. It was pingy. It was like he was and I tried my best to edit all that out, but it's when it's recorded, it's over.
Yep.
So Rhydon has got new gear.
Yep. New gear upgrade.
So we got the same thing, pretty much, minus the computer. But yeah, so we should be good with all that. And there you go, Zach.
Yeah, no more excuses. Tech. And now don't worry, Zach. My face is like 2 inches from the microphone, pretty much permanently, because I'll just keep my right hand on it and I just move it around with me the whole time.
Zach's like, God, it was a great episode, man. God, when Rhydon cracked that beer, it like blew the speakers out of my car door.
That was the point. Beer with results.
That was the point. All right, so you got on here old Cajun Joe. Has he turned 80 yet, or is he?
Well, he turned 80. He turned 80 last year, so.
Well, I know that. But
it's actually I'm almost a week ahead, but if I don't talk about it, I'll forget myself. But
what's his retirement date? Gosh,
that's a good question.
It's mom time, man.
Dude,
he's got the.
Dude, it's mom time. It's mom time. It really is. She's not doing so great, so it's mom time.
Yeah, he needs to hand that over to Chris and let the greatest technician in the world take it over. I don't think Chris wants to, but
no, I don't know.
Yeah, so Ryan's dad's still hammering it out there, man. He is.
Yeah, Cajun Joe will be 81 on 420.
420.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's the greatest birthday ever.
Except it's also Hitler, so that doesn't really help much either.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that kind of taints it a little bit.
Dang, old history major.
Sorry.
That's a good point. I did not know that.
Yep. April
So Corey
20th,
is
1889.
Corey is in. They're diving into all that right now in school.
That's funny.
The Germans and all. He was showing me some numbers the other day, and he's all tangled up in it.
I know Kristen was reading some FDR stuff in her history class. She's got one history class she's got to take. She's got, I think after this semester, she's got 9 hours and she'll finally be done.
Like done?
Done.
Sweet.
I know. Real world time. Scary.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh. Now we gotta pay that loan off.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Oh, I'm about to get me one coming.
Well, that's what I said. We'll just move Corey in.
Yeah, so we did a Appalachian State tour on Saturday in Boone, and it snowed for 10 hours.
I know, right? I mean, how much more perfect could you get? An April tour.
It was sideways, 30-degree wind, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It was. Tracy said, "Is this? Are you for real, Corey? You're going to school up here?" He's like, "Hell yeah, this is awesome."
No joke.
But it was beautiful out. Like, I don't know where the snow was coming from. I mean, it's the mountains. I mean, it's what it is. So yeah, recording and production major with a business minor. So we did a little tour, first college tour. I mean, he's only a junior in high school, but all the teachers were like, "Man, this is the time to come." We ate in the little cafeteria area. Saw some dorms, which are not exciting at all. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunk.
No, they're not.
Like he's in the military. His buddy goes there, and we couldn't get him out of bed. He kept texting him, and by the time we left, he's like, "Hey, man, what's up? You up here?" And Corey's like, "Yeah, we're already
We're leaving
out,
it's
man.
3:00 in the afternoon.
It's 3:00." He's like, "Oh man, I was like, oh boy,
Long night. Oh.
Yeah." So we roll into this studio that they have for this recording production class, and Corey's just like glowing. We got a little private tour with the teacher there, and the kids were working on a project in there. They were recording. They had a guitar going in there and laying down some tracks, and Corey's like, "God, this is where I want to start now, like right now." But he's got a whole nother year, but that's what we needed to get him going. Corey needs a little shove sometimes. He's a good kid, but
Hell, don't we all?
I know, right? Yeah, So I got some plans for him this summer on internship at a studio in Charlotte. A friend of mine knows, and I Instagrammed him today, and he's like, "Man, bring it on! He can sit beside me all day up here."
That's awesome.
I was like, "Yeah," so he'll be able to really get his hands on it early, Dude, the mixing board they had in these rooms were like 12 foot long. I mean, here we are trying to get set up for a podcast with this shit we got, and
yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, this is $100,000 board." Corey's like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah, no joke.
He's like, and every wire on it was installed and soldered by the class. Like, he said the students put it together. Also, the recording studios up there are 24/7. You come and work on your projects anytime.
That's cool as shit.
So, yeah, he's pretty pumped.
Well, and the thing is, it's got to be that way. I hate to say that, but if, as artists, former artists, people that still play music, you've got to have access to what you're using 24/7, because the creative process is not let's just sit down and hammer it out thing.
Yeah, he's like, you come up in here and it gets late and you don't feel comfortable driving back home or the dorm or whatever. He said, we got couches in here, you just crash. I'd rather you stay here than drive around.
Corey's like, I'm never going to my room, ever.
Yeah, I was like, so you're saying he can room here?
And we don't
He's
have
like,
to pay
no.
board. Crap.
Right. Yep. So yeah, some people are going to cuss me on this show, but my son's going to pay for his college. We've already discussed that. We're going to help him through college, but his tuition, he's paying for. He'll appreciate it more, and that's just where I'm at with that. And maybe he'll go out and get some more scholarships now. Or get something. I had to pay for mine. Tracy had to pay for hers. Callie's going to pay for hers. Callie's actually already saving for hers. That little girl is rat holing money all over the place. I don't know where the hell it's coming from, but she's saving everything. But yeah, I think that's not trying to, create a bunch of student debt.
Well,
but it is what it is, man.
Well, I mean,
get a job you can pay it back with.
Yeah, that's what I had to deal with. I mean, mom and dad helped me with what they could. Being that dad was a lot older, I got a little bit of help because he hit Social Security age while I was still in high school. So if that actually ever happens, the kid gets a small Social Security bonus, like until they turn 18.
Oh.
So for the last year and a half of high school, I got just a little bit every month because of that. So we put all that with a small scholarship, and I maybe had probably a little over 10 grand put away that we used to at least get me started with school, and that paid for my laptop and my computer, because I had to buy a new laptop for everything that the school wanted you to have, and this and that. But it helped, and then I scrapped as much stuff as I could that made a little bit, and then I still worked.
Scrapping's good right now, man.
And then I worked 3 days a week for him and doubles on the weekends, and figured it out.
His freshman year, I'm going to tell him to opt out unless he works on campus or something small, but get him settled in, and then he's going to want a job after that, because that's just what he does. I mean,
he already, honestly, the way you spoke about him going through things during lockdown and everything, he already knows in some ways kind of what it's like to have that freedom to have to go get your stuff done for school. I think he'll settle in just fine.
That actually helped. Yeah,
I think it honestly will have helped some kids.
That personal time management.
Yep.
We all had a little bit of that, trying to learn that. I'm still trying to learn that. Home, man. I know, right? Dude, I don't know if I could work from home full time, man.
Nope.
I just don't think I could.
No,
too many distractions.
I gotta be out and about a little bit here and there too.
So yeah, no. We got spring break this week. I don't have any flag football stories.
Dang it! I was wondering how NFL Blitz was going.
The coach finally showed up.
Oh.
Yeah, he made it out for a Sunday game. And he said, man, you good. You got it. I'll just stay on the sidelines. I'm like, no. So he went out there and ran some plays, and then it kind of confused all the girls. So
this is not what Dennis has been teaching us. We're confused.
Right. Yeah. We like Dennis because he asked us what we wanted to do.
Where's Coach Wilkins? This is bullshit.
So they beat us by 1 on Sunday, which is an extra point. And it got heated with the coach. The coaches were fussing at each other. It was not good. On some Y, some Y girls 9 to 11 flag football. We were out there like it was the Super Bowl, of course. Trash talk. It was, it was not good. I mean, I get out there and start calling these plays, man, and them girls run your play you just drew on a board. You get pumped, man, because it's such a long shot for them to pull it off. But when they pull it off, it's hilarious. Like, it's awesome. And the referee, the ref's like, God, it's like you two guys are playing Madden against each other. I'm like, right? I know. That's what it feels like. He's got his little dry erase board, and I got mine, and we're staring each other down, drawing out plays.
That's funny.
Because you're out there for defense and offense. So, yeah, you just kind of get lost in the mix there in the moment. But, yeah, we're off this week. My dad's going to come over for spring break. He's going to stay with us all week.
No, I'm pumped your dad's getting to come spend some time with you. I'm glad you're getting to do that.
Yeah, he's excited, so he needs it. Needs a little break. All right, shall we get into
the future is now?
The future
is now. D.
All right, so my new term for 2023 with HVAC is evolve or dissolve.
I like it.
It's gonna be a lot of shit coming in hot, man. Just saying. Evolve or dissolve.
Yeah, I should put that down.
Is there 2 S's in dissolve? I think there is.
Yep. Good call, spell check.
So last week, the last week we didn't put an episode out?
Nope, no episode last week.
Right.
One, because honestly, I think in some ways we both kind of needed a break. But also because we were both busy, but you were busy learning all kinds of cool shit that I was jealous of not getting to learn with you.
Yeah, so I had to go to Birmingham for a week for factory training for our brand on the new changes coming up. M1 equipment, the equipment that's coming out that's going to rate with the new rating. So the new 14 series is going to be a 14.3 under the new rating. So the whole week was based around that, right? And it was basically anybody that has a tech support job for this brand. I think there was 180 of us. I mean, you're talking about, I met guys from Canada, I met guys from Hawaii. Everybody crammed in this hotel, and it was 8 hours a day of PowerPoints and hands-on and, tons of stuff coming at you. My brain was going to explode. Trying to take it all in. You feel like you don't want to miss nothing, but you can't really take notes. I started taking notes on the first class, and I just said, you know what, I just got to try to take all this in, because they usually give it all back to us a couple weeks later in a PowerPoint after they scrub it a little bit.
Yep.
Take some proprietary stuff or whatever out. I don't know. But one thing that was cool that we did, we took a little bus over to Jasper, Alabama, and there was Alabama Power has built a HVAC training facility. That's all that's in there. 53,000 square feet.
That's awesome.
And there's a break room, and the rest is there's 5 classrooms in there. There's labs, there's solder labs. It's just tons. It's just, just like you see in school, right? You got refrigeration, little training circuits. You can close stuff off. I forgot the brand. There's only a couple brands that make these training systems, but the teacher took us on a little tour there, and he's been in the industry forever, and he has manipulated some of these systems for refrigeration training in ways that I wish I could do on my running systems, but I'm not with a classroom type setup, so my systems need to look good and just run. Right? He's got like ball valves soldered in and the middle of the line just to show a kink, and
That's interesting.
He's got all kind of stuff going on, man. But it's all hidden. It's all hidden, and he can put errors in the refrigeration circuit to for class. So, oh man, I was a freaking kid in a candy store in there. It was awesome. They had a couple 30 tons out on the floor we could check out.
Dadgummit. Hold on a second, Dennis.
I know. What's your little man? What's your dude doing back there? I
don't know, but I can't see him from here because he's in.
Sounds like he wants to be on the show.
He probably does. Dadgummit. I have no way of hitting mute on this thing, or at least I hadn't figured it out yet either.
Oh, you just do it on the screen.
D, you there?
Yep.
Oh, sorry to wake you up from your nap.
Yeah, I was looking at Instagram there.
But now I guess we had intermission for a different reason.
Yep. Old shit break. Rhydon's new nickname for his dog.
Yep. Sorry, Cody.
From American Pie.
Yes.
So
did you like my last reply I sent you though?
Oh yeah. Oh, American Pie. Corey still hasn't seen that. I feel like he needs to see that this time. And also because he's in the band.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he's not seen it being in the band.
I mean, he's old. I mean, it's an older movie now.
God, I know, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's... All right, so... Yeah.
So, yeah.
Little intermission there. Yeah.
Dennis was informing me of so much cool shit. Then I had to go deal with shit. How shit happens.
So, yeah, the training facility, and there you go. Get right back in the saddle there. Yep. The training facility, it's in Jasper, Alabama. It's Alabama Power has it. And they, you can sign up for classes. I mean, if you're out that way, I guess check it out. Pretty sick little setup they had in there for sure. I think you can sign up for some really short classes or go through the full Monty there. Some of their troubleshooting electric boards that they had where you can get a scenario and then it's kind of like it's hooked to a laptop, but it's the board where you used to just connect wires and make a light bulb come on, but it's a little bit better than that, obviously. They can implement some errors in there, and you got to take a meter and figure it out, but I wanted to sit there and play with that thing for hours. But yeah, so if you're out there, check it out. What do you think from a sales guy standpoint? What do you think about this new stuff coming down the line?
At first I think there's always that apprehension to change. I think some of it was,
right.
All right, so how many guys are actually going to embrace this? How many are not? How many am I going to have to convince to embrace it? It's interesting because I sit here and I break it down into, well, I think on a personal level that it's all really cool. I think it's great to see our industry taking steps forward. I like to see advancements in equipment because it just kind of gives us something else to really have an added value feature. So in terms of the overall aspect of it, I'm very excited, interested in it. As terms in looking at what it's going to take sometimes to get it to the contractor base, I'm very curious, how it's going to respond, because there
Right.
is a base of guys that just are not ready for this, don't want it, are irritated by it, are going to do everything they can to not have to deal with it as long as they can. There's just those
Yeah, I
people.
mean, one of those technologies that it is the Bluetooth that a lot of brands are going to be putting in their just furnace boards, air handler boards, right? So you scan a QR code with your smartphone or whatever app you have. Of course, the QR code will take you to that app or Safari or whatever. But you go there, and that's all the dip switches are now on your phone. So there will be no dip switches on these boards. And you basically tell it what outdoor is there, and then it gives you some CFM parameters. Then you click on where you want it to run. Still got a blower chart with static, right? But if you want to slow the blower down, it's going to be on that phone, period. Like, if your blower's too high and you got, or, maybe you want to get rid of some humidity, you want to get on the lower side, CFM wise, it's got to be done on that phone no matter what. Plus and minus 10 degrees or 10% on a blower, it's got to be done on the phone. Now, you can see essentially real time when the unit's running what the static is. So, I mean, there's some great, essentially like it's, communicating, but this could be all done with a regular stat. You're talking to the board.
Well, and one of the cool things about that is, we talk about trying to get guys to buy manometers, trying to get guys to buy tools that are going to measure these things to make their life easier. Well, now it's going to be built in for you. That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
In some ways. It doesn't solve everything, but at least in some cases, we talk about it all the time. It kind of at least helps when you see
Well,
it.
and it won't be long to where I can get into that and see it real time from my phone doing tech support where he's at. Pop in, if he's got internet or service, whatever, pop in and see what the unit's running. Obviously you still need some manometers, right? You still need to check static, but this stuff is coming in for non-communicating equipment. This is going to be in base, mid-tier, high-tier products.
Now I think,
speaking of that,
I was going to say, two questions. One, I think in some ways this is to actually help make sure people do set their blowers up and everything else properly, because there's a lot of cases where I know you get the phone calls, it was never done properly the first time anyway. So,
right.
at least that may help a few more systems have greater reliability, because there's a little bit more check and balance there to make sure it was put in correctly as far as setup. Can't control everything.
There's still got to be, there's still a default, right? So I asked the guy that. I said, what if nobody touches this thing? Well, he's like, it's defaulted on high, like really high, as far as blower speed, and it don't match the refrigerant, whatever the tonnage is outside. Just like I have problems with that now,
Yep.
Everything comes shipped on high, black wire on, heat, or black wire on cool, whatever, and depending on your brand, and you got a 2.5 outside, or a 1.5, or a 3.5, and it don't match up. So, but nobody checks static, looks at the blower chart. I mean, a lot of people say it's getting worse, but some of the new generation of techs coming in, I don't know, some of them are embracing it because it is cool. You know what I mean? If they're techie. So I don't know. We might see a little shift here, maybe.
Well, I was gonna say, here's the next question, because I want to save a little bit of that component talk for a few more minutes. What about connectivity? Is it, as far as cell service. I think you and I discussed this
Okay.
before, but I definitely want to put this out here for people to hear. Is it going to be where you download it, it's on your phone, and it just updates if it needs to, but you can use it regardless of if you have service or not? Because there's a lot of guys that we deal with that are working in places where they do not have cell phone service.
Well, so this is Bluetooth unit to phone. That's it. You don't have to have any service, so you could essentially have a iPad that you use for work that you only use for your gauges or whatever.
Yep.
And scan the QR code. It either takes you to download the app or it takes you right to it.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
The one that we demoed. Yeah, the one that we demoed took you right to it. Of course, it's kind of beta testing, whatever, but it took me right to it. And I actually went to so we did we did a class on that, and then we went to another room where they had a blower up there, and they were talking about static pressure and how it's tested at the factory in a lab. And I opened up my Bluetooth app that they had, and that unit popped up on my phone, and I was in it. And they were up there talking, and I was 20 feet from it in the classroom, and I'm sitting there watching real-time static, and they have no idea I'm even in it.
That's pretty cool.
Of course, I raised my hand, and I said, hey, I'm actually logged in, and I can see that. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's because when you hit the button there, it finds a furnace or an outdoor unit. And the furnace pops up. I click it, and it's like, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to, here's the RPMs of the motor. Here's the static. You want to change anything? You want to, do 7 degrees temp rise, or minus temp rise, whatever. And I was sitting there messing with it while they were up there talking about it.
That's pretty cool.
So it was pretty cool, but only one person obviously can go in at a time. So you could essentially set it up from, come back down out of the attic, shut the attic door, and start tweaking it. You ain't got to be in front of it, on your knees, trying to see the dip switches, right? Or in the crawl. You can come on out and change the blower speed while you're outside the crawl space. It's pretty slick. I mean, it was very, very responsive too. It was, like I said, it's a direct connection between the unit and your Bluetooth. So, no lag there, as long as it can find it. They said about 20 feet with their technology, so it's not bad. But of course, we had a heat pump breakout session, and pretty much base tier products are going to be 2-stage, man. That's going to be across the board.
Well, and that,
which is not a bad
I don't
idea.
think it's a bad idea.
Especially with zoning, right? Staged equipment, even with our basic zoning, staged equipment's a good thing. Humidity. Maybe you miss a little bit on the, I've said this before in my classes, we get lucky a lot when we size equipment. Maybe you miss a little bit on the, of course you do it too, on the Design Star and stuff, right?
So it's not perfect.
You miss a little bit, right? That's where that second stage comes in, or first stage. When you're just sizing 14 SEER base equipment, single stage, you really got to hit it on the money. I mean, it depends on your climate, right? It gets hot. You miss that.
Yeah.
There ain't no turning back. That's a tough conversation to have with the homeowner. So, staged equipment, 2-stage, 3-stage, of course, inverter technology will fix a lot of that. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Now, as far as the 2-stage base stuff, I know there's a lot of brands in the market that their 2-stage, even base 2-stage 16 or whatever it would be, has got some big old air handlers. Do we know anything about?
No sizes are going up for us.
Nice.
Across the board. So here's the other thing. And I like I said, I don't know. I can't go to these things for all brands, but refrigerants changing in 2025. Microchannel coils are going to be a big deal across the board where you can use them, obviously, which is, I mean, we got 10-ton package units right now that are holding 8 pounds.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like, I'm stoked about that. And with this new refrigerant, you can get away with a lot less. I mean, I was talking to a guy today that was charging a 10-ton straight AC split. It was like 33 pounds.
Yeah.
Because he had 60 foot of line set, half inch and an inch and 3/8, I think, on his suction. But yeah, we came up with like 33 pounds of 410A. That's going to go way down.
So that's interesting. That I didn't know. So it's that much more efficient at heat transfer then.
Right. Well, what I was getting at is piping diameter, right? That's a lot of. So to go up and sear, we got to get more surface area on the coils, right? So we can't just keep making them bigger. Some of these outdoor units, some certain brands are humongous already, right?
Yeah, so
what they're going to do is, some guys are going to go with 7 millimeter coil, which is, I forgot what the percentage less it is than 3/8. I want to say it's
3/8.
I want to say, is it 20%?
So 3/8 is 9.525 millimeters.
Okay.
So,
and 7 mil, yeah. I feel like a lot of people are going to do that, which you can get more rows. If you still want to stay single row on the outdoor unit, right, you can get more piping, get more, of course, fin design. Everybody's going to try to come up with a different fin design.
Yeah, it's about 30% smaller.
30%. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 25 to 30%, give or take a mic.
So, you're going to start seeing some. I mean, there's only so many more shapes we can make in a evaporator coil, right? You got you got a different kind of end where it's leaning the other way. A coils, of course, but I've seen some of the, Gree and I don't know, some of these new, like Bosch, they got these A coils in these air handler cabinets, but they're, 6 inches thick on the slab side. Like, they're super thick. So, because you got to come up with a surface area for heat transfer. So, all that stuff's changing. We're going to be turning over the reversing valves for gravity purposes.
Okay, I was wondering if that happened. I know you were talking about saying we might see some stuff different like that.
It's also an easier shift, right? Where the reversing valves, I guess you could say upside down, where the discharge comes in the top. The discharge from the compressor comes in the top, and just gravity going down that way, plus it's pushing that way, and they said it's cutting out some of the, moose call, in defrost.
The moose call.
Yeah. Oh, it's a moose call. Not to be confused. Yeah, come on. All right. It is a moose call. I heard you. So,
damn it.
When we made a trip to the mountains, yeah, Rhydon stuck me in the spare bedroom. I stayed at his house, and right outside the window was this 1997 Rheem heat pump. And every time it went into defrost, it woke me up. I was like, what the hell was that? I didn't know they had moose up here in Bryson City. And it's like, goes God, I'm so good at making sounds for HVAC.
That thing
I've
still
heard it
runs
so
like a
much.
champ, man.
Yeah, it's trucking. And your parents had it like 1,000 degrees in the house. Or no,
No,
that
it's
room
just
was
that
1,000
room.
degrees.
Because
Oh yeah, I appreciate
that room is right over the old 95 mod furnace.
I had
And you have
magazines over the vents. I was dying in there.
you got like a 4-foot run to that room, and it gets toasty.
Oh yeah, it was trucking.
You're like, I got every vent closed and the freaking window open. I broke the screen out trying to get more air.
Oh yeah, I was slamming the vent shut. I had then it started whistling coming through the vent. I had a magazine over that.
Meanwhile, I'm sleeping downstairs in a nice balmy 64. I'm like, oh, it feels great.
Yeah, it was 78 in that room. So another thing, and this is just, it is what it is, right? Components.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
So,
that too.
You have a lot of guys go, yeah, I like this brand because they use this motor or they use this compressor brand. And I just feel like those days are going away as well, because you get stuck with one brand and they can't get a component for that internal, then you're stuck. You have shortages. You can't make product. So,
well, and our brand did some stuff when we did our 14-series changeover. They already started gearing towards being better about universal parts. So I think seeing stuff like they're doing with, increasing components but still keeping it to where it falls into, what their manufacturer standard is, I think is going to make more sense going forward anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's several compressor brands out there that people are going to have to use. People are going to go with LG. They're going to also go with Copeland. They're also going to go with, there's tons of brands out there that make good compressors.
Well, and to speak to that too, a lot of people, will knock these other brands, and not, trust me, I've done it too. So guilty as charged. People knock these other brands because they've just not seen it in our industry. But these people have been making, refrigeration components for the fridges in your house for centuries. I mean, for centuries, not centuries, but decades.
Well, yeah, it's just stuff that we may not put our hands on.
But I mean,
I've worked on compressors, or I've worked on a unit with, like you said, refrigeration. I don't even know what the compressor is. I just see it, right? I don't know what brand it is, unless I got to do a warranty and swap it. But other than that, you're just working on it, right? You roll up on something old, it might have a, Taiwan compressor in it, or you have no idea. I mean, you just work on it. But some of these components moving forward, the brushless condenser motors, I don't know about y'all, but I haven't changed a whole lot of mini split condenser fan motors in my time. I mean, there's a reason for that. Brushless DC, the module is built into the board, so it's not this monster fan motor that's 12 inches, thick, hanging on there.
And you've got all these issues from across every brand. The freaking motor weighs 30 damn pounds. It feels like bouncing up and down on this grate.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at an 18 to 20 SEER unit that the module is built onto the drive board. So the motor just plugs in, and the compressor, whatever RPM it ramps up to, the fan motor matches it, and it's just perfect. It's silent too, not to mention, I mean, completely silent. Yeah, I'm looking forward to these. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the old GE condenser fan motors, sure, they lasted a long time, but they were, they were PSC motors. and you just couldn't kill them. But they weren't very...
But you couldn't kill them because the more you tried, the less they worked. So you didn't kill them.
Right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, these motors are going to run a lot cooler. They're not going to get hot. Of course, everything's going to have an issue, maybe, have its certain issue. Maybe not. Like I said, I mean, the fan motors on some of this inverter technology, like mini splits, you rarely replace them.
Well, and that's what I said. I really hope that in some cases, a lot of these component changes actually see our reliability numbers go up.
Right. And that's what they're shooting for. They're also shooting for pulling motors from different suppliers so that they can keep product coming out instead of just locking down with one, you know?
Yep.
Ain't no different than a contractor selling two brands, you know, offering two different brands. I always said that was a good idea too, you know, not necessarily a builder grade and a high end, but just two options. Cause you got this brand might offer a smaller cabinet when you need it,
Yep.
or this brand likes a smaller line set size or doesn't mind it.
Yep. Complementary brands, not rivalry brands, I guess.
So I did see a twin rotary compressor in action where
Nice.
it's basically a 3-stage. The first 1 and 2 stages can kind of ramp up and down, almost inverter like. And then once it can't satisfy at that point in time, like 10, 15-minute increments, then it will switch over to line voltage, like alternating current, and it's like straight contactor voltage, and now it's just wide open. So it went from DC to AC. I mean, there's all kind of stuff like this yeah, it just switches over to line voltage, and you know, because it's got a drive board on it that can drive it up and down in first and second. But then after that, so it's not true inverter. So it's a mid-tier product. So it's not a, you know,
but
20
how
SEER plus
often,
product.
you know, unless they keep the place really cold, how often is it going to have to go wide open? You know, the majority of the time. Probably not that often.
Well, this is a heat pump too. So, I seen some 3-stage heat kits.
Now that's funky.
I
didn't think about staged heat kits. I was not even thinking about that at all.
Yeah, they got some fancy little relay on them, and you basically can set that up on the board on your Bluetooth as well. It knows how much heat's there, and it stages it as needed. So when the motor ramps up, it can ramp up. It can switch to second stage of heat, which will be, if you got a 15 kW, it'll switch over to 10K, and then you switch over to 15. I mean, pretty wicked. It was a lot to take in. So yeah, constant torque motors as we know them right now are going to be base, almost builder grade. Right? The standard air handler with the 24 volt controlled constant torque motor, that's going to be like a base builder grade product. After that, it's going to be a constant volume type motor that's plugs into the board, it's got a module on the back, and it's going to maintain whatever CFM you set it at. It's going to try to maintain that, you know, similar to a variable speed, but it's going to be pulling data from the board from static. So, I mean, it's just a lot. Apparently these are tougher motors too, right? They can go up higher on the amp draw, but
nice.
A lot going on. I'm kind of excited about it. Obviously, I'm on this side of this side of the desk, but I don't know. It's a little different, right? When you're on this side, when the product comes out, like I got to know about it.
Yeah, no joke.
That day, right? Somebody calls me about it. Can't be like, I don't know, man. I ain't really put one of those in yet. Like, I got to know about it day one.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes a little overwhelming. You know, we bring a product in, whether we bring a mini split in or something. I got to know about it day one. Read the install manual twice. You know.
Well, that's the same thing. You know, anytime we have a brand new sales program or any kind of something, as soon as I get asked, I got to be an expert on the spot.
Right.
How do you do this in the contractor portal?
Click on it.
Yeah.
So what have you been? I haven't talked to you. What's been going on in the sales world?
You know, first quarter was okay, but it wasn't great. It really wasn't great.
Yeah, the weather. Do you think it's weather driven?
I don't know, man. There's so much crazy shit going on right now between between weird weather. It's tax season. It's February is usually a rough month anyway. We have the constant inflation, constant price increases, constant shortages, war overseas. You name it, man. It's been an interesting last 90 days. So, I think this just. I don't think anyone's breaking records in 22. 21 was a good year, but in some ways, I think that was also masked by increases too and inflation. Right. I think you're starting to see some of it slow down because some of that initial post-COVID bounce back is kind of caught up.
Right.
And
so, yeah, I was going to say you had the talk with you've been having the talks with the contractors on the AC side that are.
Yep. So, we talked about it last time with Lucas, but, hard stop on ACs. I'm really working to educate guys on, the positives of dual fuel.
Right.
Looking at dual fuel as kind of even if it's for a short period of time, it's, it's going to have a good 6 to 9 month place in the marketplace, probably more than we've seen in a while. Especially in our opinion, some of these heavy gas markets are going to see an influx of dual fuel.
So they brought up decarbonization again in this meeting and how everybody's wanting to get away from gas in the world. And I did hear some chatter. I heard some distributor guys. All the guys in the South were trying to talk to the guys above the Mason-Dixon line on when, at the end of the year, right? You guys can buy all our ACs because they can still sell through up there. So I heard that buzz going around because what we got in the building, we can't sell it.
Nope.
At the end of the year.
Well, and
if it's the old system, old rating.
And there's going to be, those distributors up north that hopefully we can sell some stuff to. The headache's going to be, you really don't want to have a whole lot left over to sell to them. Because it's one thing if it comes down to the end and you've got $30,000, $40,000, even $50,000 worth of equipment. Not that big a deal.
Well, what are they going to pay for it? They're not going to pay top dollar for it.
But if you've got $250,000 of ACs that are paperweights, buddy, you got a big problem.
Yeah, my hat's off to the guys in our company that are trying to plan for this. I mean, holy cow. Yeah. I don't even know where to start.
And
the ordering and the not ordering and the trying to keep enough through the summer. I mean, all you can go by is past numbers, and look what we've had the last few years. It's just been a shit show.
You can't judge by any of it. It doesn't make any sense. None of it computes.
Yeah.
But
It's a dice roll.
yep, and then the other thing is, on the commercial side, residential lead times are still shit. Commercial ones are still shit. So,
Right.
commercial jobs, I'm quoting jobs now that equipment wouldn't ship until September. I mean,
Wow. Is that across? I feel like that's across the board, right?
I
Brand
think
wise, I haven't.
from and I mean, I don't know if it's the thing is, I think it's affecting different brands in different sizes. Kind of like, when
Well,
we,
in different
yeah,
markets
in
too.
different markets, kind of like when we had the black gunk TXV issues with stuff, you know, our brand experienced most of it in a group of sizes more than where other brands experienced it in other sizes more. Just based on what your manufacturer had been buying compressors wise at the time all that went down. So,
Right.
I think every brand's going to have their own different quirks.
Yeah. And I don't know how everybody else is gonna do their equipment either.
Nope.
And it's a headache for the techs because they're coming up on all this. Every brand's different.
Yep.
I'm kind of got the luxury of dealing with one brand, but
Well, and you're gonna
yeah,
hear the horror stories of the other brands that those guys have ran up onto, and that's how you're gonna learn some stuff too.
yeah. I mean, I still feel like I gotta stay educated on all brands the best I can, especially with all this new stuff coming out. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, so while we were at while we were in Jasper at that training facility, um, old Lance Robinson, the solder weld guy,
Nice.
happened to be out there, and we were brazing aluminum because that's coming, right? I mean,
Yep.
repairs. If we can't get a product or can't get a swap or can't get a coil, we got to start. So if you haven't brazed aluminum at all, get you an old coil out, get you some, hit solder weld up for some product. I'm trying to think. Is it Harris? Who else does? There's only a few players in that game for
Those are the hell
solder.
those are the only two I know.
Yeah, so you just got to be careful what product you're using because some of them what temperature they melt at is really close to what temperature aluminum just evaporates at. So you remember I did the Taco Tuesday that year.
Yep.
So that product there was flux core rods, and come to find out that rod melted at 1100 degrees. Well, at 1200 degrees, an aluminum coil will just disintegrate. So that's a really fine line. So the solder weld guy, Lance, his product it melts at like 600. So it was fantastic, man. I was welding some 1/4-inch holes with MAP gas, and so he was in there, man. He's a great. I feel like you just buy anything from him. Like, he's a great talker. He's a great salesman. Of course, it's a good product. It backs itself up. But, yeah, he was talking about Flintstone 1 in there. They're putting him on the side of a tub for the golden ticket. If you get a tub of whatever hot block it is, you get a bunch of swag. So I think I was the only one in the room that knew who Flintstone was. But
It just
Instagram,
just shows how much room there is left to grow for us, for all of us.
yeah, you got to get on Instagram and follow some people.
Dude, that hot block stuff's pretty cool though. You saw it because I know.
Well, yeah, it's reusable.
Well, that and like you saw, I reposted that video of it where he's just got his torch on his hand with it just sitting there.
Wasn't that? I think he did that with Flintstone at AHR at the booth. He just put it on his hand. He turned the torch on it, and it just, it's pretty wicked. I mean, you just take the putty out and wrap it around the TXV and just go to town, and It blocks the heat. But yeah, and he's got a great hat, man. That camo flat bill with the solder weld patch on it it's a sweet hat. I tried to steal one off his table, and he's like, It's not a giveaway. I'm like, dang,
don't be taking my personal swag.
I know. All right, so yeah, that being said, educate yourself. What are you sending me pictures of here?
I know. I was waiting to see how long you took you to see that. The first one was the Cobra chicken lording over the branch today.
The Cobra chicken.
And he was just sitting up there squawking away.
That's a goose. Geeson.
A geeson. And then this other one, an older contractor friend of mine, he works for he does maintenance on a couple of different race shops around us. If people don't know it, Charlotte, North Carolina, and then like Concord, where I live, and over in Mooresville are the NASCAR mecca of the world.
Yep.
As well as like legend cars and some of that other stuff. But this was on a 15-seer 2-ton heat pump. And
yeah, what kind of, is that just a rat snake?
It looks like it's a rat snake is melted behind the control board. He's like, I've seen a lot of things, but I ain't seen that one.
Yeah, so he's curled up behind the defrost board. Like, I don't know, it's probably a 2-foot snake.
At least. He is cooked.
Oh, it fried, yeah.
So he's like, man.
He may not have been a rat snake. He looks like a rat snake now.
Who knows? But he was like, yeah, I'll get a much better picture of it when I take that thing off there this afternoon. And then he never sent me another damn picture.
Oh,
I was like, come on.
Man, I've opened up some of those older train units, and that freaking snake just curled up down in that little box, and I get hurt more, dropping or running than I did if he would have just bit me. Hitting your elbow on something, or that thing's huge, dude. I don't know how he got in there
either. It's funny you talk about snakes and old train units. A couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago, I was going through a bunch of pictures I'd found from when Chris and I lived in Greenville 10 years ago. And I've got videos of this old train unit that some of the guys that worked for one of my contractors were trying to get all these snakes out of it that they had found in the thing.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
But actually, I found the videos of all of it. And dude, this one black snake that was in there, that thing had to be 6 feet long. That thing was massive.
Jeez.
They finally got his ass out of there. They sprayed him with 22 and he shot out of there.
Yeah, that's not expensive at all.
Well, back then it wasn't as bad.
Right.
That was 2010? That's weird saying that like it's an old time ago. That just made me feel old.
No, 2010 sounds like last year to me.
12 years ago in county.
Man, I graduated in 2000.
I graduated college in 10.
Yeah, so that's depressing. Anyway, next
so that's depressing.
Oh God! You do any high school reunions? I don't think I went
to our 5-year one. We had a freaking blast. No, not 5 year. No, 10 year. Sorry, it was 10 year.
10 year. Okay.
Sorry, I dated myself.
Yeah, 5 year. Everybody's just like looks the same.
No, 10 year was fun. We had a freaking blast. Same freaking couples that were still together or still just as damn dramatic and.
Oh, nice.
No, it was a good old time. That was the first time Kristen had gotten to meet a bunch of people from that I grew up with, since she and I met after I was older.
Right. So we've had some good numbers.
Yeah, when you
this
told me that
week.
earlier, that blew my mind. I was clicking on there and looked a little bit ago. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to click on there and see if we picked up a state or two, or
Yeah, let's
how
look.
we're
So
looking
yeah,
on our
we
tour.
we crossed the 100 in a day mark for the first time and did it 2 days in a row, and then 2 days before that almost hit it once too. So
Well, and that's not pulling Spotify
no,
data either.
which let me go look at that too.
Yeah, I mean, I know these numbers, they're not TikTok numbers, but for you guys to download the show and listen to it, right, that takes engagement. It takes a lot of time, so
Yep.
we appreciate that. It's not just swiping up through some pictures. When Rhydon took old shit breakout, I was swiping through Instagram, and it's just like, you gotta kind of slow down and try to, I was looking at some installers on there and some of the stuff they did, and you gotta slow down and see what they got going on, read some comments, maybe he said what he used or how he did something. Of course, I'm just as bad about just posting a picture or something, but
So Spotify is still touch and go. Like it'll be spiky for a group of episodes and then it'll die off.
I just thought Spotify was the platform, right? But Pandora is like huge for us.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting to see which ones grow. So yeah, let's go look at
Yeah, we both can't look at it together.
So worldwide, one from Japan. Let's see. This is April only, so this is just April. One in Japan, one in Brazil, 8 in Canada, 710 in the United States. Now this is interesting.
How's that Midwest looking?
Kentucky is the winner.
Really?
68 downloads in Kentucky, 52 in Ohio, 47 in Massachusetts, 43 in Michigan. Dude, we crushed some of the upper Northeast and upper Midwest that we've been wanting to build some audience in. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
Texas, 39. Let's see. California, 36. Illinois, 26. New York, 24. Pennsylvania, 20. Florida, 17. Colorado, 10. Tennessee and Wisconsin, 9. Georgia, 8.
Oregon,
3.
1. Lucas and his buddies.
Yep. That or Lucas just listened to 3 episodes.
Right. I don't know how it does that. It pulls from there.
But yeah, we almost. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I say we hit 30 of 50. Pretty decent haul.
Yeah, I mean, we're still pretty green at this
then,
at the end of the day.
Oh, Canada.
Oh,
5 Ontario, 1 in British Columbia, 1 in Quebec, and 1 unknown.
where the hell's that at?
I don't know.
Is that Newfoundland?
Who knows? Now, I told you my nephew. I was gonna say, I told you my nephew moved to Nova Scotia.
That might be unknown.
He's out there. I told him, if he saw Oak Island without me, I'll be sad. Well, hey, I guess should we do all-time episodes again? Oh,
who's winning?
Dude, our boy is winning.
Jason
is crushing it for right now. So,
no rest for the wicked.
This is March 13th through April 11th. 10 most downloaded episodes. He is more than double second place.
It's clickbait.
Yep, but that's all right. So yeah, he's at 240 in that period. And then building.
That was a good episode,
Yeah, it was
man.
a great episode. And then building blue collar culture with HVAC God. It's got 108 for the first one, 112 for the second one. Interesting.
Yeah, those are good episodes.
Part 2 is really good though.
You build these episodes. Yeah, you build these episodes in your mind, and then you do them, and you're like, or you're like, man, that really was more informative than I thought it was going to be, because you really don't know. But I'll tell you, we're putting it out, we're recording it, and we're posting it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you win some, you lose some. Some of them surprise you. Old Zachary always give us some feedback. He's out there riding around. He's selling equipment, and he'll give us some feedback. I know when we don't put one out, he's pissed on a Friday.
Him and Jason both.
He's like, yeah, what am I supposed to do today? What am I supposed to listen to? Like the radio? Like, I think it's cool they're wanting to listen to my dumb ass, but whatever.
I know, right?
So yeah, we got a couple guests coming up, don't we? Or at least one.
Yeah, we got one next week, and then I thought we had one later in March.
We got to get my daughter on here to compete against Corey's show.
Got to get that on here before it gets.
I'm not going to mention it to her again because she about drove me crazy for a week there. I was like, yeah, we'll get to it this week. So, all right. Well, you got anything else?
I think that's it, man. It's been a good show.
Yeah, there's still more technology to talk about as it comes out. Get my hands on it. Make some reels. Some clutch reels.
Yes, as always. Dennis coming through with the clutch reel.
So yeah, check us out, man. We appreciate everybody listening, and we'll keep the content coming. We'll get back into some social media. It's just like I said, we got 2 jobs going here, so we got to give both some love.
That's right. And it's getting ready to be go time.
Yep, it's getting ready to be summertime. Yeah, I got to get on some. I got to create some YouTube videos. So, all right. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.